Everyone. What if your AI didn't just write code but also tested it and review it and fixed its own bug and looped until it got it right? I have built a LangGraph code review pipeline. It's a self-healing and multi-agent AI system that writes, tests, and reviews and autonomously fix its own code. Hi, I'm Abdul Rahman. This is my LinkedIn profile, and then you can connect with me. Let's move on to the project. I have built this project using LangGraph and Open Router API. I'll tell you why I have built this project using LangGraph. Because it has more control. With the LangGraph, we can create a production ready project. The main functionality, it has a shared type dictionary state, and we can also build a conditional edges. So if we have personal details or any protected information, we can check those using the nodes and conditional edges, so we can avoid the important and company confidential information that we can avoid by giving to the LLM. So this is what I have built using LangGraph, and let me show you how it works and how more importantly why I built in this way. And before we move on to the LangGraph, and let's just understand, we have a three important concept, that is node. It's a Python function. It takes a shared state and it does one job. So it's kind of what is mentioned in the green one, that is a node. And in the node we have state that reads and also writes when every node goes on. So the state is kind of a shared notepad. Every node read from and writes to it. So it flows through the whole graph as a single type dictionary. So we have a node called coder and the reviewer, and we have various nodes. And on the conditional edge, it's kind of an arrow mark. It decides what is the next node that needs to go. So that the decision function that runs after a node and returns which node to go to next, and based on the current state. Pipeline. When you give it in a plain English feature request, say write a Python function on a step 1, the code generator generates the features, and then it goes to the test generator, so where the test content is created and full of PyTest test suite for that code, and it goes to the node 3. This is the key actually runs those tests and isolated sub process. This is real PyTest execution, not mocked real pass or fail. The node 4 does a senior level code review using LLM. But here at what it gets interesting. So this is the happy flow. When you click on happy, so this works when everything goes well. And when the text, so on the path B, if a test fail node 5, the code fixer reads exact PyTest error output, understands what went wrong, rewrite the code, and sends it back to the pipeline automatically. If reviewer rejects the code, the node 6, the code improver reads a specific request and improves the code before resubmitting. So on the path C, if a reviewer rejects the code, the node 6, the code improver, reads the specific feedback and improves the code before resubmitting. This loop runs 3 times. After that, it exits gracefully with a failure report. No infinite loop, no hanging process. On the right side, if you can see, we have a builder, that is state graph. We have a mention what is the next step. So if we have start is the first node, and then it goes to the code generator, and then after code generator it goes to the test generator, and after test generator it goes to the test runner. So this is where we have a pass or fail. So after code fixer, everything is fixed. The graph, everything is fixed, and also with the conditional edges. If you check the conditional edges, the test runner, the node 3 routes after the test, the code reviewer, it goes to the code reviewer, and the code fixer. If it is fail, that is node 5. The after the code reviewer, we have defined entire workflow, what should be the next, and then if something goes wrong, what should be the next step that needs to be done. So in this way we can control entire workflow. For example, if after a code review, if it is approved, it will end. If it is reject, the code improver, it goes to the code improver, and the code improver again validate the code and improves it, and then this process works again. Yes, this is the project workflow. We have app.py where I have defined all the agents. We have all the nodes and all the functions has been defined over here. Let me go from the top, and the type, pipeline, and conditional edges from start to end. Let's consider the code generator, code test generator, and test runner has been, everything is modified, everything is defined with a maximum retries of 3. This is the important functionality that we have imported, and we are using a state graph from start to end, and to pass the value, and we are also using the type dictionary, and we are loading the environment file from the .env. This is where I have kept the API keys, and I have used, these are the model that I have used, and then the default model is GPT OSS 120B, and just defining the state or the code review state, the type dictionary, what are the feature requests, model key, node output, and this is where we insert the answers to the LLM and ask questions. So we are defining all the nodes from the node 1, that is code generator. Oh, we have in a system message and also the user input. So if a user asks write a Python code for the requirement so and so, and then the system message, so it mentions you are a senior Python engineer, returns only a Python code and no markdown, no explanation, include the type hints. So it is clearly defined. So based on the user input and also the system message, so those informations are given into LLM, and it provides the content. And we have a test generator. This is the second node, and here also we have defined the system prompt and input. So this input is come from the code content. So this is the second node. Once we have this content ready, it goes to the test generator. For this is an input, and also it also verifies the feature request, or and also with the help of system prompt it takes a call. So similarly for the test runner, so it takes the previous input, the test results, and then the code reviewer. This is where we define the nodes, and we have 6 nodes, the code improver and everything. And this is the important concept of conditional edges. we defined what needs to be the next step after each node is getting passed. So it's kind of an we have seen this in Haromar. In a nutshell, this is the logic. It defines the condition. So what is the next step that needs to be done for the each node after the each node is passed. So we have defined everything over here, and this is how it is built the graph. The code generator node, and then the test generator node, and the test runner node, and test reviewer, code fixer, and code improver. We also maintain the fixed edges, and then the conditional edges. Fixed edges works when there is no issues. The conditional edges, if anything is failed, and then we will loop it back to the previous node, or to review the code and rerun the project. So this is the agent file, and also I have built this in a Streamlit. This is in a Streamlit file. Here we import all the nodes and conditional edges and everything. We'll import over here, and this is the UI functionality. Let me run this. Yes. Okay, so we have it is running in a local. This is the coder agent. This is where we write the feature request, and then the LLM model we have chosen GPT OSS 120B, and so here also we have mentioned the pipeline. We can also choose the template if needed. Um, I'm going to choose the template word frequency counter. Okay, so it has beautifully rendered. Let me click on run pipeline. It started working on the agent orchestration. It's working fine with a node 1 that is currently working. That's why it is mentioned in yellow color. So the node 1 is passed, and then the node 2, which is currently working. The node 2 is a test generator. We can also review all the nodes and test result everything. We can review it at the end of the time. So let's just wait for it to run. Okay, the node 2 is also worked fine, and then the node 3, the test runner, we have created the 10 test cases. Everything is passed, and it goes to the code reviewer. The pipeline is completed. So this is approved for the production. So this is the finally generated code, and it has given the functions and characters. Along with that, if you go to the test cases, we can review the what is the test case that has been written. It verifies the basic sentence and insensitivity and punctuation, multiple white spaces, and test empty string, and Unicode, and mixed alphanumeric, and everything. So basically it tests everything, and on the test results, it just checks what is the conditions, and it provides the final output. And the code review, it verifies for the correctness, code quality, and then the type hints, security, and minor recommendations. Everything, the decision of the LLM, it's based on that, so it is giving upload. Thank you so much. This is what I would like to demo on this, and thanks for your time. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me on a LinkedIn. I'm happy to help you. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.